And good afternoon from O'Fallon High School, O'Fallon, Illinois. It's the O'Fallon tournament. Lots of O'Fallons there. As we've got the second game of the day, 3:30 game, Quincy High Blue Devil girls are taking on the Belleville West Maroons. Devils lost their first ball game against the number one team from last year, the O'Fallon Panthers, 58-32. O'Fallon now is 2-0. The Blue Devils fall to 2-1. No time for talking about that game. You turn right around, grab a bite to eat, get off your feet, and it's game two. Blue Devils 2-1 coming into this one. Hi, I'm Jeff Wellman. Glad you can be with us. This is meccasportsco.com. You can catch us at our website, also YouTube, and as those things we've talked about, our first broadcast of the season. Please give us a holler. Check it out. If we're coming in and out, let us know, and we hope to be here all year long covering the two teams at Quincy High and Quincy Notre Dame, and covering them with me for almost most of those games, if not all of those games, Coach Dave Pettit. And Coach, we really got a test after the victory against Jacksonville and Pleasant Plains when we run into the number one team who graduated two great players, but they reloaded.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the defending state champions, the coach, great record. You know, we knew it was going to be one of those games where very, very tough. But I tell you what, we did some very, very good things in game one. And, you know, I expect for them to, come to fruition more in game number two.
Well, and you look at it, too, we had the player of the game was Jada Brown, hit a three. We really thought as a freshman played very well against the 6'2", 6'4" front line of O'Fallon. I thought she did a great job in there. And what we learned is you can throw passes and you can steal against average to below average teams, but when you run against the buzzsaw, you do not have to throw long passes. You got to make quicker short passes. You've got to come to your pass. All the fundamentals that, a team that has three freshmen on it and starting to them.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a learning experience for the freshmen. No ifs, ands, or buts. So I expect them to get better each and every game. They play hard. They do a lot of good things out there. But they're sometimes making the freshmen mistakes.
Indeed. And, of course, even the varsity players who were out there, the upperclassmen, I had talked earlier about rebounding and doing a good job against Williams and Bolds. But the gals who got the rebounds were the guards. They were down low, and like we talked about, you got to put a body on somebody, then release to get the ball. If you're standing there waiting for the ball to come down, somebody's filling those seams and going for it.
Yeah, and that's the one thing, learning against learning how to box out in the 1-2-2. You got to stay matched up. You got to stay within, gosh, I don't want to say arm's distance. Well, arm's distance if it's a shooter. Okay, but, maybe 5 foot if they're not a shooter, but you got to make sure you go out there, at least put a forearm on them, then turn and go get the ball. Now, if one of your teammates has got the ball, after you put the forearm and you turn around, go. That's where you get your 3-on-2s and 2-on-1s at the end of it. But it starts with defensive rebounding.
And we did see that from the Devils a few times once they broke that first, second level of either the three-quarter or the full court. Because, again, players were double-teaming, even sending other people over to the passing lanes, and once you get beyond that, you get a 2-on-1 break, and you get the odds are in your favor.
Well, and if you take care of the basketball, and that's the second thing we're going to have to do because, looking at this game with Coach Coon, she's brand new coach, love her energy, love the stuff that she runs. I mean, some good stuff. They want to play helter-skelter. We need to take care of the basketball, make sure you're making good passes. From volleyball line to volleyball line, that's not a good pass, okay? You got to make the passing lane shorter, attack somebody, then make the pass and take care of the basketball. If we take care of the basketball, and I think we have a height advantage, against Belleville West. So, once again, Brown and Foley, they need to go down low, set it up, do a little high-low action, catch it, shot fake, take it to the hole hard. We should dominate on the boards and taking the ball to the basket tonight.
Against Pleasant Plains the other night for the home game, you talk about a great one. There were a lot of late in the game high post and then wing cutting back door.
Yep.
Oh, we saw some great passes there, and I think Longcourt made a couple backdoor cuts. Somebody else did too.
Yep.
Foley was getting the ball to him, and I was really impressed with the Blue Devils passing in there. So, hey, the buzzer's there, and we're already ready. Glad you could be with us on Mecca Sports. And, of course, that pregame comments and the coaches' comments throughout the year, whether it's the head coach of the team that we're covering or Coach Pettit or even Coach Wellman when he chimes in, they are brought to you by Cunis Auto Group, Faith Family, and Giving Back. And we look forward to a lot of fun this year with those guys. Of course, Jeff Kahn is the manager out there. Jason Buxman manages overall the 4 Cunis in his area. And those guys have come forward and said, listen, we like what you do. We're going to be there right with you. And we'll be talking about how they'll be with us here in a week or two. You'll see it, don't worry. And also then, too, for you folks that looking forward to the Festival of Lights, December 17th on that Sunday, Cunis will be out there. It'll be Cunis Day, and we'll give you more details on how you can go out there and drive through free. So that'll be a lot of fun, and Christmas is a-coming. And thank you, KEZK, not KZZK like in Quincy, KEZK, 105.9 in St. Louis, already run Christmas music. So between Keishi and Christmas music, and when it was rocking Christmas music, I had them both. So it worked out pretty good. You stayed on Keishi yourself, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
So, well, here we go as we start off. Devils will be in their blue, trimmed in white. And they will start looking at the same lineup we had earlier today. You're going to go with Taylor Foley, the senior, in the post. You're going to go with Jada Brown, the freshman, match it up in the post. And then we go Miley Longcourt, the freshman, along with Layla Dade, the senior, and Leah Chevalier. I can't believe that. Know her name so well, and then all of a sudden I stepped on my own tongue. Chevalier, thank you very much. Her mom's at home right now screaming it to the computer. So, and the Devils will be working left to right. On the other side, the Maroons in their white, trimmed in what? Maroon. And when we hear Maroons, we'll be seeing them a lot later this year. Moline, the defending state champions.
Yes.
So, and I think they reloaded as well. So,
well, they were going to be pretty good coming back anyway, so, yeah, a couple extra, or, it's one of those things to where depending on how they developed over the summer, because players are made during summertime, so we'll see.
And I believe the Blue Devils are definitely ready, and it should be a lot of fun watching the Blue Devils this year. So, and as we get ready, I'll give you the starting lineup as we go along for the Maroons. In the center circle, Jayla Sparks, and, of course, Taylor Foley. Sparks gets up quicker. She didn't get up higher. She just got up to the ball quicker, and the Maroons will have the basketball working right to left. Devils will set up in man-to-man waiting for them. Actually, it is the 1-2-2, isn't it? Matching up.
Yep.
In the left corner, Maroons shoot 3 from the corner. No good. Shot was taken there by Kennedy Williams, one of your other starters.
Nice job boxing out by Longcourt on the weak side.
And Longcourt trying to go coast to coast there. Of course, we talked to BL1 and BL2 in between the games. And, of course, BL3 is, ready to play next week on Thursday. And I understand from Grandma up here, Susie, said BL14 is what they've been calling her, or ML14. So watch out. We may have to run with that. Devils lost the basketball, so Maroons won't have it. We've played 30 seconds here in O'Fallon. Again, Jeff Wellman, Dave Pettit, MeccaSportsCo.com, or if you go to the YouTube, it's Mecca Sports Co., and you'll get right there. Glad you be with us today, and please respond to us. Good step up there. Chevalier tipped the ball. Jada Brown comes out. I'll tell you what, Jada, for a big girl, goes coast to coast with a score.
Very nice, very nice.
Wow, awesome stuff there. Also, Coach, I forgot to shift back to my pencil, as I am a old accounting major that always use your pencil, not your pen, because once in a while you may make a mistake. Right corner, three-pointer, the second one of the game so far, the Maroons. Weak side rebound came back to the Maroons. They got the basketball on the left side. That's Kennedy Williams being guarded by Chevalier and Dade. Into the left corner. Here's a 3. We have to wait for her ponytail to get out of the way to see who it was. That was Cora Sin. And the Devils with a steal. Leah Chevalier with the steal. Down the right side, Dade inside the block. Good transition. Taylor Foley with the basket. Dade with the assist.
Way to run the floor. When the big girl runs the floor, make sure you get it to her because, that was an easy basket.
You know what I always say, feed me, Seymour, feed me.
Oh, yeah.
So, timeout quickly by Belleville West. As you mentioned, watching the coach. Very good before the game. Watching Janelle Kuhn. Really one of those players, coaches, she's out there, really in the game. It's no other way to explain it. she's ready to go in. Watch for her to check in later in the ball game.
I mean, Belleville West, I think, won, 51-43, something like that against the Belleville West team. Decatur MacArthur beat them like 61-53 or 51-43. It was a close game. It was a 3-point game with a minute and a half to go. So, once again, she's got a young team, and, it's going to be one of those things where they're going to learn throughout the year, and by the end of the year, they'll be playing people very, very tough down here in this conference.
Maroons out of the timeout, down 4-0. We'll have the basketball, 6.5 left in the first quarter. As that starting lineup is, it's Olivia Massey, number 2, Jayla Sparks, number 4, Kennedy Williams, number 14, Morian Nure, number 22, and Cora Sin, number 24. Pulling up from the left elbow, just inside, and that's Sparks for the first score for Belleville West.
Not good defense on, line number 2, for the Lady Blue Devils.
Layla Dade comes across the timeline. And if you wonder why I didn't say Layla's name a lot in the first, I swear somebody told me Leela again, and I had to double check to make sure because I knew it was Layla.
Brown,
again, 1, 2, and 3.
Again.
Brown with 2 offensive rebounds, 3 putbacks, didn't get it. And with a traveling call by the Maroons, Devils will get the basketball back with a 4-2 lead.
I like them going to the offensive glass like they have here in the first, couple minutes of this ball game.
Out of bounds, left corner, shot taken in the corner, no good. And that was ML14. She missed. Ball went out of bounds on the Devils. It will be Maroons basketball. Of course, after the weekend, Devils will be heading to Rock Island for their first conference game on Tuesday. Notre Dame plays that night against Keokuk at home at the Pit. We'll be at one of those 2 games. Just check in. Devils back on defense. Chevalier, I love it, drops back into that free throw lane to get the high post. Ball went into the high post, dropped down to the low. No good on the shot. Rebound, Jada Brown again.
Nice rebound.
Outlets, down court. Here's Miley. 3-pointer. No good off the iron. Stepping in, going for the rebound, Foey, and it goes off of her fingers, and it will be Maroon basketball. But we had a good look at a 3.
Very, the early looks on the 3s when you're pushing the ball and you don't have anybody in front of you, you got to take those in today's game.
And the other night she did, and, of course, at Jacksonville, we got a lot of shots at Jacksonville, both inside and outside, and a lot of them just rolled out.
Got her hand on the ball again.
Again, that's the Devil. Chevalier tips it onto the floor. There's Loncourt and Foey on the floor. The other side.
That's one thing Loncourt did in the first game that I've seen her play. Is defensively, she gets her fingertips on a lot of balls, deflects them, and then, hopefully those will start turning into easy opportunities on the other end.
Belleville West brought in their Milana Lewis.
Good pass.
6-foot freshman. Coach, who made that? Because I looked at Milana.
Loncourt made the pass.
Loncourt made the pass?
Yes.
Who made the bucket?
Miss Brown.
All right, thank you very much there. She's got 4 already. That's why you never look down at your program when you're a play-by-play guy. 6-2 Devils, back on defense. Doing a good job in the high post behind.
Another deflection.
Exactly, and that was Foey. Long pass from Brown down to Chevalier. She's on the right wing. Back out. Shot by Layla Dade. Just off the iron for 3. Inside, Brown gets the rebound. Back up with the left. Jada now with 6 points.
She did a great job of keeping the ball up on that after she got the rebound. A lot of, younger players that are freshmen, they bring it down, they get it stripped. She kept it up high and used her left hand. Very nice play.
Maroons throw the ball out of bounds. It will be the Devils basketball. 4:08 left in the first quarter. 8-2 Blue Devils. And we had joked in the first game a little bit about, of course, having her brother Camden, the senior on there, and her dad, Ryan Brown, who was a stud at Quincy University. So I am sure, when playing around with them, it's a tough game.
The Thanksgiving basketball game out on the court probably gets a little physical.
And if we see Camden come with a black eye on that Thursday night, we know where he got it. Here we go. Devil Chevalier starts the drive, kicks it back to Foey. Foey missed the shot. Weak side rebound. Jada Brown thought she might have got bopped on the arm. She hung in there trying to get the rebound. Here come the Maroons. With the basketball, Sparks will back it out. Tried to go in the high post. Foey with good defense. Goes Chevalier to Foey. Foey goes all the way down, and she is fouled, so we'll have free throws to start one off. First foul of the game will go into the Maroons. Double check who that was. I believe that was on Kennedy Williams. Nope, the other forward. Jayla Sparks. Her first and Maroons first. At the line, Taylor Foey shooting 2. I got to watch that, too. I almost Shouted out shooting two like I did in the PA announcing for John Wood last week. There's a different, style, I guess, when you do each. And so Foley makes the first one. Taylor has one more. Substitution. Leah gets a break. And Foley gets two. It's 10-2. Devils are on a 6-point run. She's got 4 right now. That is Taylor. And checking the ball game, looking for my sub there.
And Quincy Eisen, the 1-3-1 now.
And Bree Leonard steps up. She's the one who took Leah Chevalier's spot. She's at the point of that. Rebound, Longcourt. Longcourt comes across the timeline.
Good
Long pass across court to Foley. Uses the left. That's an assist. Longcourt. Foley with her 6 points. That was great. Coming down the right side, crossed over half court, and then went down to the left, almost on the second block for the easy layup. Inside 3 minutes, 10-point lead, 12-2. And now Coach Kuhn not happy with how her squad's working out as she's called the timeout. And I like it because you don't let things get in there. You call them over and go, listen, we cannot allow that. We've allowed the big girl inside to tip 2 balls away and end up in transition getting the layups.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things to where, team has to play a little harder. But once again, learning process, playing your second game in, they had the 11 o'clock game. So, yeah, they got a couple 3 hours off. But, it's one of those things, if you're not conditioned, to play those games, it's going to be tough.
Sometimes that extra time off early in the season, and maybe even late, is not good because you get stiff because you're not, again.
Well, and once again, the deeper team, which I think Quincy is a deeper team than Belleville West. Belleville West goes 5 deep, maybe 1 off the bench, that can contribute. Quincy High probably go 8 or 9.
And we've seen 10
and contribute. Yeah. So, it's one of those scenarios where I think, second game of a 2-game day, the team that's in better shape and or the team that has the longer bench, will do better in the second game.
We talk about feeding the post players and our sponsor, Cunis. Last week they did a trade-in hunger day, and they had all this food stacked in there. They had to work it all the way through the assembly line like all their other Cunis dealerships did. 144 boxes of food to the Horizons in town.
Oh, goodness.
576 meals plus. It took them 30 minutes and 12 seconds to do that. They're doing so much in the community. I love it. All right, we're back to action here. Maroons with the basketball.
Oh, good
Tried
help.
to go inside. Bree Leonard with a nice tip away. Now it's tipped out from Foley to Longcourt this time. And Longcourt, too, uses her left hand, goes in for the layup. So after a number of assists, Miley gets
took
to
the body
column.
contact and then, went up with the left hand. Very nice move.
Back in the action on defense for the Devils. Try to go inside. Jada Brown tips it away. Weak side, Layla Dade. Layla gets out and running. She's going to go coast to coast, up for the layup. Good.
There we go.
And she just ran right by the Maroon playing defense against her. First scores for Longcourt and Dade on the last 2. They now have a 12-point run, leading 16-2 with 2 minutes left in the first quarter.
Blue Devils look a lot fresher than Belleville West.
Must have had that same burger and fries that you had. Here we are out top.
Good hands.
Oh, Bree Leonard almost just took the ball away out top on the left side. And a travel, and that's the big girl, Milena Lewis. Not big, but compared to our Williams or Bolds.
Oh, yeah.
But she started moving the feet, looking to pass the ball inside. Partly the pressure, too. So
well, and I like when they're playing that 1-2-2, and when they catch the ball, you need to get out and put pressure on it, get your hands up, get your deflections, and then, make sure you're – oh, nice pass.
And there it is, the high-low. Taylor Foley comes up to the elbow, gets it. Cutting back door is Dade. Give the assist to Foley. Give the basket to Dade. And that's what we saw the other night in the Pleasant Plain games late. 18-2. Good defense in the corner, although she let her get by a little bit there. But then Dade gets hold of the ball. Dade gets through the first line. She's coming 2-on-1. She'll get Longcourt, who's out front. Longcourt with one dribble in with the left hand, and Longcourt with a score. She's got 4 now. Devils 20-2. Putting the pressure on. And this is the kind of pressure Jacksonville and Pleasant Plains, and Pleasant Plains was decent too.
Yeah.
Whereas you can't do this against O'Fallon. Well, you might at the end of the season. Top of the key, that's Williams. Williams over to the right side. Sin had it thrown in, tipped right back out.
A lot of deflections.
Yes, and the left wing is Sparks. She gets it. 2 people in the high post. You got Lewis and Nuri in the high post. And they were both working the high-low and kind of shifting, but almost a travel on the other side. And Longcourt takes the ball away. Throws a long pass. Bree Leonard in. with the score. Bree with her first bucket. Give Longhorn another long assist on that one.
Yeah, steal and assist.
Tell you, that's what you got to like.
Well, stat stuffers. Yeah, well, stat stuffers.
And get out somebody and take out and fly,
Yeah.
Left side, Lewis with the basketball, brings the dribble back to the top. Bree is out there. Layla Dade slaps the ball away again. Good hands so far in this one. Again, Coach Pettit mentioned it. A lot of tip passes and a lot of stolen passes. Here's Williams off the left side, into the left corner. 3, no good. That was taken by Williams.
Another good defensive rebound.
And that was Taylor Foley with the rebound.
Oh.
Taylor with the pass that was back to herself. If you're a quarterback, the arm went forward, but the ball went straight up, and she caught it.
Yep.
And, of course, the buzzer. But a good first quarter after one. Blue Devils 22, and the Maroons, which we'd like to see this later in the year, being Moline and Belleville West.
Yeah, it's been one of those, first quarters to where, once again, the defensive pressure, the steals, getting out, in the fast break. If they're 22 points, I would say a good 8 of them were from steals and then getting out and throwing it up for easy layups, going in. So, I mean, it's
it might have been closer to 14 of them because I don't remember hitting a lot of outside shots.
Well, they ran some good plays down low, catching it, turning, and getting the 12-foot shot, posting up, going strong to the hole. But, getting out defensively, then getting it out, passing the ball ahead, for the easy looks. That's what you're looking for, the easy points, and they've done a great job so far here in the first quarter.
And we mentioned later in the quarter, you had that great high post Foley coming up, catching at the elbow, turns, boom, right down with a bounce pass.
Yep.
Easy layup. Gotta love it.
I mean, I tell you what, it's been, they've executed very well in the first quarter, both offensively and defensively.
Well, if you put 4 of those quarters together and put up 88 points, that's a pretty impressive day.
Yeah, I think you'll be okay. But, once again, I worry about them, getting ahead, and then start getting a little loose with the ball. So, let's make sure we keep doing what we did to, get to the 22-2 lead, starting the second quarter.
Different looks to start the second quarter. Bree Lannert will be at the point still. Cameron Byquist came in. She's on the right side. Shot was no good.
That's the way to go get the rebound.
Kate Medemeyer with that, and also Madeline Hamby. Here's 1, 2, 3 passes. Lannert in for the layup, and that is Byquist for the layup. Look at that. Ball doesn't touch the floor. That's what I really like as a former coach.
Yeah, once again, good outlet pass, running the floor, looking ahead and being unselfish.
All right, double-checking that lineup. Lannert, Hamby, Byquist, Medemeyer, and Foley right now. Tried to go inside. Oh, and actually made it all the way through to the other side.
How'd that happen?
Exactly. Nuri had the ball, goes in the corner. That is Sparks. Sparks tried to fire up a 3. She fired up one with just a little too much power. And there's a great steal, stepping in the passing lane. Lannert, who, again, much what happened to us in the first game.
Good anticipation.
Foley with the ball.
Good pass.
Brings the defense to her, stops at the elbow, then bounce pass to Kate Medemeyer for 2. By the way, we say hello to Bob Lauer if he is home, and Donna as well. They talked about not being able to get to some games, so we shoot out that if they're listening and watching. Left side shot no good. Foley with the rebound.
Nice box out.
Here's Lannert going 2-on-1. She fakes the Byquist, then takes it all herself, misses, but Cameron's right there.
Oh.
And as she went up, she forgot something. The ball slipped away. So, yeah, I know a lot of family sticks up there. Of course, the Blue Devils had film today, so, Camden Brown. We should mention all the guys, and so I don't mention 1 or 2, but they have sisters playing, and they're up there as well. And, there's some grandparents, too. I look at Kate Medemeyer, and, of course, the Medemeyers, but also my old neighbors, Larry and Kathy Klauser, are be listening. 6.5 left in the first half. 26-2, Devils over the Maroons of Belleville West.
Oh, another deflection.
Out to half court, but it will stay with the Maroons. And, that's one of those stats we keep, too. Now, we don't keep, but, deflections as well as steals, because the deflection usually leads to a steal or a turnover. Ball into the right corner. Foley is right there playing good D. That's in the far corner, straight down from us.
That's one thing I look at. Sometimes when they're in the 1-2-2, the 2 rows guarding down in the corner, and, sometimes the 3 row goes out to the corner and then the other. Ooh.
Oh, a little hop
Travel,
in there,
yeah.
Lewis. Well, like you said, Coach, what happens then, too, a lot of times, and this is how I ran mine at Quincy College with the ladies, Hawks, in my 1-2-2, immediately she came down, and it became a 2-3 a lot of times, and then, you know, my top. So you get to bring that back row. Didn't have to bring the back row. Pass by Foley, almost lost. Losing the ball a little bit there. Branner's got it. Down on the baseline. Looked like a foul, but then Foley was on the weak side, and there is a foul. Foley gets the rebound, the putback, and she'll have an and one.
Well, and the, 5'9", a little bit thinner than Miss Foley, wasn't a match for her going to the basket, which love her going to the hole hard.
Gosh, Coach, I'm going to have to remember this whole 5 fouls in a quarter thing. That's so Foley makes the free throw. Awesome. She's 3 for 3 on the day, the only one who has shot free throws. 29-2. This is a run of 25 points unanswered by Belleville West. And Belleville West is a good little team compared to where they were last year. And this is just the defense and the Devils picking up their fundamentals.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got a lot of active hands out there. If you look at the 1-2-2, the hands are wide, and when they play wide, another deflection.
Kate Medemeyer deflects it out to Hamby. Hamby long pass to Byquist. Couldn't bring it in, just over her shoulder. Now, wait a minute here. That looked like something her brother would have caught because it was right over there like a pass with a one hand up there. So he may give her some tips when he gets home. So now, sis, here's what you do on that little fly pattern there. Maroons with the basketball in the right corner. Goes inside, but Medemeyer tips it away. 2 in a row for Kate.
Good rotation.
Long pass and a great fake by Madeline Hamby. She did a ball fake. Defense went away. Left-hand layup just got up there. It didn't get over the rim. First foul against the Devils, I believe.
Once again, good defense turns into, I don't want to say easy offense, but easier offense.
Foul was called against Cameron Byquist, her first personal foul. Devils first, 1-1 on the fouls, so we're not going to have to worry about that double bonus, at least in the quarter so far. 5 minutes left in the first half. This is the one. I love the long hair with the braids that they go over the back, and you can't see the number. And when they swing it, good job by Kate Medemeyer stepping up. She tipped the ball, and when she tipped it, it went off the Maroons. Blue Devil basketball.
She's gotten her hands on a lot of balls, rotating over in the third row, coming out and guarding on the wing.
Byquist goes out, Lanner goes out, Medemeyer goes out, and Hamby. So that means our 4 returning starters came in.
So we have a line change.
Yes, but Foley is not in there. She came out too, and Jasmine Lewis came in for us. So Chevalier, Loncourt, Brown, Dade, and Dade threw the pass cross court. It was stolen. And, of course, Lewis all the way down for the layup and did not use the backboard and missed it. Rebound here by Loncourt, long to Lewis. Lewis did a great job of stopping. Defense flew by, but she shuffled her feet just a little bit for the travel.
Good look down floor again. Very unselfish play by the Blue Devils, in this first, quarter and a half. I mean, they're looking ahead, sharing the ball, running their offense to darn their perfection.
And I think in the first game, getting to the second and third tier would have been nice, but I don't know you could have passed over O'Fallon, the Panthers. Goes inside. Lewis is in there, getting bumped by Lewis and also by Chevalier. It will stay with the Maroons. Their second foul in this quarter. And it did go to Jasmine Lewis, her first foul. Maroons will have it under their own basket. Devils go to man-to-man from out high, matching up. Ball's thrown out. Lewis loses the handle. Jada Brown will pick it up. She'll get it ahead to Layla Dade. Layla 2-on-1. Chevalier. Oh, like the first game of the year in Jacksonville, Leah just ball rolled off the rim. Across the way, Jada Brown got checked to the floor, but still, while falling to the floor, she dished it off. And we give a shout out to our listeners up in Rockford, to Lisa. I wonder who Lisa is, but
I have no idea.
She just shot us a message. So thank you for listening and watching. Devils out of bounds. Works around the left side. Layla Dade's going to fire a three. No good. Jada Brown. And she got her hands on it, and it just snuck and hit the baseline. It will be Maroon basketball.
That was a good seal on the opposite side there. She pinned in, the Belleville West player underneath the basket and almost got that long rebound.
And would have went right back up, and the defense would not have been able to do anything except rebound the made basket. That's the only thing you do if you're standing under the basket. Maroons with the basketball, back to the top of the key. Nure Off to the left side is Baker, and Kavana checked in. She saved the ball, but she saved it to Dade. Here comes a 3-on-2 break. Dade, bounce pass out front. It'll be knocked out of bounds by Nure, and it will be Blue Devil basketball under their own basket.
Keep taking it until they stop you. You know what I mean? And she kind of tried to make the pass where she should have just took it, split it, went up for the layup.
Like she did the last time on that break. She did take it to the hole all the way.
Ooh, nice play.
Right in front of the basket.
Oh.
No good by Brown. Rebounded by Foey. Left corner, 3. Comes up a little short for Loncourt. Ball was tipped out there. Brown was hustling to get that ball, and she on the shorter haul, it got tipped away from them both. And, of course, I wanted to say Moline.
Assist.
Good steal. Right in front of the bench. Miley Loncourt tipped it. On her tiptoes, saved it. Out to Chevalier for the bucket.
Another steal and assist. I like those combos.
Oh, that's an awesome one. You get to put defense and offensive in the book.
Another
and speaking of which, Loncourt with another steal. She's going to go coast to coast. Off the wrong foot, but that's okay. She put it in. She said, Coach Wellman, it was a reverse layup, so I went with it. So just
leave me alone.
You got there. You are. I love it, Coach. 33-2, Devils. And this is a 31-point run. There's only one run that I've ever seen better than that.
Gateway Stem 2 years ago. I think it was, 49?
Yeah, at least against Notre Dame. And, they weren't horrible by any means. The Raiders really played a good game there. I'm going to stick with that, by the way.
No.
But it was
49-point. Well, when you score early in the first and don't score again until the third.
Yeah, I thought it was almost 60, but I know it wasn't, and so glad you could be with us here at Mecca Sports Co. Check us out live. And, of course, I believe now we do have it where we're on YouTube and our site simultaneously. Well, not simultaneously. One will shift to the other, but you know what I'm talking about, folks.
If somebody out there can text us to let us know if the syncing is up good. So as you watch the game and we are talking, hopefully it's right there, really close and not, we call it and then all of a sudden 3 seconds later you see it.
That is so true. So true.
Is what I'm thinking. So if anybody can give us any feedback, we would definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, we're going to give you the number right here. All you got to do is flip to my phone. I'll give you my number as well. But Coach Pettit isn't under Pettit, by the way, and so that's why. 815-218-2074. 815-218-2074. That's Coach Pettit. And, of course, mine is 217-242-1309.
An outlet and run the floor.
Foey to Brown.
Beautiful.
Brown down to Miley Loncourt. Loncourt with the bucket. Give Brown the assist. That's 8 now for Miley.
Started out with the good box out underneath and good outlet pass.
2:15 and counting left in first half action. Blue Devils 35, Belleville West 2.
Another deflection.
Chevalier in the corner tracks it down 2. That's the best is when you deflect and track down for the steal.
Push it.
Layla Dade across the timeline. We got a 4-on-3. She's got to pull it for 13.
Perfect.
Awesome. It hits the back of the iron straight up and in. Dade now with that basket. She's got 6, and we've got a 37-2 game. And, Coach, when you go as deep as we do, and we only have 10 players on the bench to begin with, it's kind of tough when you get into a game like this because once you run your subs in, they need a break. So you're going to have to run your starter back in at some time too. So it's not a run-up of the score by any means.
No.
And you'll see the Devils, they will drop back. But when you're throwing the ball in the passing lane and the Devils don't have to move to tip it, what do you expect?
Well, the way I look at it, the Blue Devils are playing, half court, 1-2-2, with the, your point being at the top of the key. There's no way, pressing, jump trapping, three-quarter court, full court. I mean, they're playing a half-court defense that they're going to play basically all year, So as far as running it up, it's once again, Belleville West, this is a learning experience for them, to make sure that, take care of the basketball and go from there.
And they're in a tough conference anyway, so they're going to see this night and night. When you got O'Fallon and Alton in your conference, so you've got O'Fallon, Alton, Belleville East, Belleville West, Collinsville, East St. Louis, and Edwardsville.
That's a brutal conference night in and night out, that you're going to be playing against. And we've seen Edwardsville, we've seen O'Fallon, 2 pretty good ball clubs.
And last year O'Fallon went through Belleville East and West, I think, before they ever got to Alton.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things to where this is a tough conference down here. So they will be battle tested when it comes to regional time, that's for sure. And we'll be down here probably playing them again, or hopefully we can get it at Quincy High this year.
Oh, how nice.
That would be nice.
You hear that, Matt McClellan? Worked for that request there.
Ooh,
Dave
nice
threw the defense and went all the way to the hole, did not go in. Taylor Foley had a tip out. Chevalier had it. Went to Dade in the left corner.
Cut.
She's going to pull up for three after the cut. Good by Layla Dade. She hits the three. She now has 9. And a good cut by Hamby through the lane that created that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's one thing, the Blue Devil offense, their spacing, their cutting this game have been very, very good.
Maroons with the basketball, stopping just inside the free throw line and missing the shot for the pull-up. And that was Kennedy Williams. Ball hits the baseline. Back to the Blue Devils. Hey, we want to thank Corey Patton, the AD down here, as well as Austin, can't remember his last name, who was the guy that helped us set up. This is a unique table that was built to hook onto the top bar around, and so we have a great spot up here.
Nice pass out.
Ball moved around. Dade missed the 3. Rebounded by the Maroons. Inside a minute. Almost halftime, 40-2 Devils. Driving the left side. No good. Rolls out. Foley with a rebound. Chevalier gets it. Looks down the lane. Hamby down the right side. Madeline goes underneath for the reverse layup. Nice shot, Madeline. Hamby with a score. Everybody has scored now except for Jasmine Lewis. In the first game, all 10 Devils scored. 30 seconds left. 42-2. Nice comeback for the Devils. And this is the transition. When you come down here, you've gone from the top team last year to somebody who's struggling, but they're going to get there. So a real contrast in your day and your game.
Oh, yeah.
Far side, right in front of the Blue Devil bench. Throw it in. Jada Brown will take it away. Out to Foley. Taylor can't handle the basketball. She's going to take it all the way to the hole on Lewis and score. There was no avenue to pass. She realized, like you said, Coach, take it till they stop you.
Take it till they stop you. And, that could have been a three-point play there.
Taylor, of course, is going to McHenry. She signed last week. And we mentioned earlier in the first game that Leah Chevalier was the Quincy Service Group, I believe our club's November Student of the Month. And that was the buzzer for halftime, 44-2. What'd you see?
Well, the referee talking with Coach Dance, and why, I don't know.
Hey, you think you're putting you think you're a little too hard on him?
Well, I'm just like, shoot, what's the official got to say?
And there might have been,
and it's not like they're, pressing or doing anything. They're playing their half-court defense.
A lot of bad passes in the passing lane, but we are playing good D and got our hands in the passing lane.
Oh yeah, well, a lot of deflections, a ton of deflections in this game. A lot more active hands, and that's what you need when you're playing that 1-2-2 defense. And I think they've done a whole lot better job with the 2-row dropping down to box out the weak side. When they're shooting their threes from the corner, or the wing. So they've done a much better job, defensive rebounding and taking care of the basketball, especially in the fast break going, 3-on-2, 2-on-1.
I guess that would be the question, too. If you were a coach, now you come out here 1-1 either way. Would you rather have your first game as a blowout like this and then have O'Fallon for the ride home, or would you rather do it the opposite like we did?
To be honest with you, a coach with, Game 3 and Game 4 of the year, hey, let's go for it. It doesn't make any difference. Now, you get to the sectionals, and it's like, oh, okay, we could have this or we could have that.
And the ride home then might be disappointment, but the ride home today either way is going to be all right.
Yeah, and like I say, all you got to do, Game 3 of the year, break down the film, and look at it and say, okay, here's what we got to do better, and like I say, once again, we've got 2 freshmen playing heavy minutes, and, they're showing very, very well, right now. So, we just want them to get better each and every time out, each and every practice, keep pushing, keep working to get better.
And this is an awesome test early in the season. Come down here and play O'Fallon first, and then get a real nice bounce back for the Devils. And, of course, Mecca Sports will be following the Devils and the Raiders all season long. Check our schedule out at meccasportsco.com. It's out there on the schedule. Now, you'll see a number of times it says or, and that's simply because Super Tech Jeff just can't keep going back and changing, so we weren't sure on certain dates where we will go. And so on those dates, tune in because they're usually the same time, like next Tuesday. The Blue Devil girls will go to Rock Island, and the Lady Raiders will have Keokuk at home. And so we've got it there as an or. We'll make a decision on that. And, of course, if I get to Rock Island, Coach Pettit can make that Otherwise, I got to go solo, so it looks like hop in the car and drive. And
well, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But, once again, I'm so excited about, our Thanksgiving weekend. We'll start out Thursday night at Blue Devil Gymnasium. I believe Tinley Park's got the first game.
No, actually it is Wendell Phillips Academy.
Wendell Phillips Academy's first game. We'll be at Blue Devil Gymnasium Thursday. Then Friday night we will be at the Pit. And I believe the
girls and boys both.
The ladies play at Belleville Althoff, if I'm not mistaken, and the boys play St. Louis McClure. And then on Saturday afternoon, Belleville Althoff will make the trip over to Blue Devil Gymnasium 2, I guess you would have to call it over there.
The way I do this is I always say I call the Baldwin Gymnasium Blue Devil Gymnasium.
Okay.
The other one Quincy High Gymnasium because it was the high school's gym.
Yep.
And so that way we don't get them confused. So, yes, they'll be there at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock against Belleville Althoff. So Belleville Althoff's going to run the gauntlet, this weekend.
Oh, yes.
Play. Well, and they just played O'Fallon. O'Fallon beat them like
68-19 or 60.
Something like that.
I just had that coach, and I had my brain. Once the game goes over with O'Fallon, we move that off and put it in the delete column. Let me double-check that just so we've got that. 62-19.
62-19. So, that looks like hopefully, once again, early in the season, you have, people that are hurt, people that are coming off of, playing, volleyball, things of that nature. So, Belleville Althoff, you'll probably see a different team, come the end of the year. But right now, we should take advantage of the situation if we can.
And you never take teams for granted. As we always talked about, when you come in, you treat everybody the same. You do not say, we got this game, because if you look past, that's usually where that L comes out. Now, you left the last game of the night then after we are at Quincy High's gym at 2 o'clock.
Springfield-Lanphier.
There you go, Quincy High and Springfield-Lanphier wrapping up the Thanksgiving tournament. So look for us that weekend.
5 games.
Counting Tuesday, exactly. So, and we love it. And then we'll come around the next week, and we've got a full week there. I think on Monday, the QND Lady Raiders are playing Western at home. Thursday, the Quincy High girls are playing Geneseo at home. And then we get the QND Raiders and Sacred Heart boys, followed by another one of those Saturdays where Sterling and the Quincy High girls at 1:30. Then we just got this game plugged in the schedule. QND's always late with some of their scheduling. That's fine. We'll drive up to Macomb, and we'll check out the QND boys at Macomb that evening. So another fun day of action there, 2 games in a day, and that'll send you a little closer to home so you can take off towards Rockford. And by the way, Coach Pettit does a lot of driving. He is based in Rockford, but again, Blue Devil fan, started out running to the Quad Cities, and then we got him running all over the country now. So, and when we run around the country, it's nice because Cunis is going to help us out this year with that. And again, a little more sneak preview of that. We appreciate Jason Buxman, Jeff Kahn, and we'll be talking about the salespeople, the service people. I mean, Cunis in general, such a great group, and they no longer use, by the way, Cunis Country. So they like to stay with Cunis Honda, Cunis Hyundai, or just Cunis.com, and they do use Cunis Auto Group for their big one. You see that on the Mecca Sports Co. webpage. So
I have a son-in-law that works for Cunis up in Belvedere. So
awesome.
Cunis is, they're big. They're all over everywhere.
Started out in Wisconsin. Of course, we went over to Sterling, and I saw them. They're right across the street from the Wall Clippers. So if you cut your hair like you and I do, of course, I cut mine real short. You go a little more with the buffing of it. I'll be there. Don't worry. I'm already starting to realize that. And if people see me when I first cut it, it looks pretty bald to you. So don't worry, folks. You're not going to hurt my feelings out there. So it's halftime. And if you wonder, why are these guys sticking around talking? We just love to hear ourselves talk. I'm sorry. And that would be an old Good Rat song, Man on a Fish. It says, I like to listen to the words I say. I'm the only man left who will see things my way.
Well, to be honest with you, as bad as the Blue Devils have, dominated this game, I still think they need to come out and run their stuff. Make sure their defense stays, up to snuff, so to speak. Because, after this game, we've got our first, Western Big Six test, heading to Rock Island to play the Lady Rocks because that gym is no fun to play in, number one.
It's a beautiful gym, though. It's the old gym where Rock Island played before, of course, the Rock Garden.
Yep.
All the banners are still there. We were in a great position last year on the
Yeah.
corner court. Of course, then we weren't the tech wizards we think we are today, and we couldn't figure it out. I think we might get it day by day. We're going to get get good at this.
Last year Rock Island was under construction. The high school was under construction. So, I mean, there was, 3 people there trying to announce the game, and none of them could get on the internet.
That was back, and I remember when we were up there for the boys' game, I believe, icy and everything. I followed the team in. You had to go all the way around the building and in. And when I came back, I did the same thing. And then I saw Brock Hamsmeyer come in. He goes, no, I came through the front door. So, well, you got that special pass, Brock, and we appreciate that. We always enjoy the former media guys. Of course, Eric Irvin's doing the Raider Network. Thought he retired last year from WGEM. You can't get away, Eric. They're going to find you somewhere. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun out there. And that's one, too. I hope that if we figure out what we're doing on Tuesday, no matter where we're at, we've got a great view. And, of course, I love the view at the pit. We are going to be on the corners where they used to be. We'll be right down there on the west end, just right next to the visiting team. No longer up in the – I love the loft, though, too. But I like being down there when guys like sure, Boots Bush was out there. From our station, it was Mel Tappy. And back then, Hal Barton as well. So when you played, when they would get the peach basket out and they went up and got the basketball, that's what they did. So should be a blast. The band will be down there. And I'm trying to remember which band of all of them was just the loudest that we couldn't hear. And the town just a little south of the Quad Cities begins with an S. I cannot believe I can't think of it. They've got a
Gerard or something, or
yes, because they've got an unbelievable, top-notch golf course there. I mean, it's world-renowned, or at least and you never knew it was there. Coach Brunner, of course, did know it was there, so he tells us all about it. So we're ready to start. And by the way, that we're talking about not just liking to hear ourselves coming in late. We got a late start on the advertisers and the sponsors. So you hear us out here, you go, you know what? I would like to market. In the games. You're working games 4, 5, 6 days a week, or I like to sponsor, and I just want to hear the Blue Devil games. Please contact us and go through, like I say, on the website, mechasportsco@gmail.com. You can go Jeff Wellman 309 at gmail.com. You can call Coach Pettit or myself, and Dave's is the number on the webpage, and reach out to us. And for that matter, just reach out and tell us how we're doing, and if you like enjoying it. So. Second half is ready to start. The Blue Devils will have the basketball with a 44-2 lead. Chevalier, Dade, along with Loncourt, Brown, and Foey. Driving down the lane, missing it, but Brown gets it. Kicks it back out behind 3. No good by Loncourt. Long rebound comes out. We got a 2-on-1. Then immediately the Devils have it a 2-on-3.
Another deflection by Loncourt stopped the 2-on-1.
Yep, and Foey picks it up down on the baseline. Devils with the basketball. Working right to left on your dial. Still love that. I'm a radio man. Sorry, folks. Loncourt out there starting to drive. That's why you don't see this face for radio.
Good idea.
Foey was making a cut, and really Loncourt had the pass, but Foey had turned her back, so it bounced off the back of her. Maroons with the basketball. We'll check their lineup.
Another deflection.
Good hand by Miley. Second half, we've got Jayla Sparks coming back in the ball game. Also Kennedy Williams. Morian Nure, and I hope I pronounced her name right. I am sorry there. Also, Cora Sin. And I find my last starter there. I'll give it to you. Olivia Massey. And that's what we do. We got the Devils basketball. And, of course, we mentioned before the game, Blue Devils in there blue with white. And a lot of white tennis shoes, but Jada's got the pink ones, and they stand out inside. Jada sets a screen now for a cutting Loncourt. She gets the pass from Foley off the wing, goes in, has her shot blocked, but out of bounds. It will be Blue Devil basketball. Oh, I guess she shot it out of bounds. No, I didn't think so, but everybody's kind of going, I'm not sure. How about you?
We're kind of a bad angle here. You know what I mean?
I've got the pole here. I feel like I'm at Wrigley Field, but I'm used to that, so it hadn't been for a while, by the way. Maroons with the basketball inside 7 minutes in the third quarter. Devils leading 44-2.
Can't do that.
Bounce pass to nobody, and actually the bounce pass from Sparks was to the Devils. Loncourt back on the right side. Chevalier on the right wing. Starts to drive baseline, gets a cutting Foley. She brings it back out to the high post. Brown with a shot, no good. Jada gets her own rebound and a putback. You'll always love that when you get the putback rebound plus. Job by Jada, 46-2. First score of the second half for either team. Maroons with the basketball.
I mean, Jada's got to have at least 10, 11, 12 rebounds, offensively, defensively.
And 8 points to go with it as well. Only one Devil left to score, and we'll get Jasmine Lewis in there somewhere in the ball game, get her to put a shot up. Maroons with the basketball into the right corner, firing a three from the corner, no good. Weak side goes over Longcore, but then Miley turns, grabs the ball, and we get a jump ball.
Well, once again, that's one where she should have went out, made contact, turned and got it, stood underneath the basket and almost lost it.
We had that long rebound a little bit too over her head.
Yep.
And then we noticed in the first game when Bowles at 6'2" reached over. Luckily, we got the call against Bowles.
Yep.
Bowles, excuse me. Massey with the ball in the corner. She had a cutting Williams. Williams got bumped a little bit and must have had the shot partially blocked. Went out of bounds. It will go back to the Maroons. 5:50 left, third quarter action. So glad you're with us on this Saturday afternoon. 1 week before Thanksgiving. That turkey.
Oh,
I've heard so many reports this last week about people who hate turkey. That's just not right. So, Devils with a steal.
Oh, turn around.
And Brown. And Brown's being the post player. She wanted to get it to a guard, and the guards had turned their backs. Shot by the Maroons, no good. Comes out in the left corner. Maroons get the rebound. Sparks, her three-pointer, good. Sparks. She has scored all 5 points. Her first one way back in the first quarter. And with that, that stopped a 42-point run. Wow. Those are good. I don't care what sport you play. Chevalier kicks it back out. Day goes right back to her on the right side. Spins on Sin. Goes all the way in. Takes the reverse layup. Oh, misses the shot, but on the weak side, which was the strong side, is Foley for the putback. Do we give her an assist on that one?
No, Foley kind of cleaned out a little bit so she could get in there and throw up the reverse left-handed layup, and after she did that, she already had position.
13 points for Foley, and then, hey, I'm going to tell you what, Sparks loves it. She said, hey, I made one bucket. Here comes another one. She now has 7 in the game, all 7 of Belleville West points.
So it's Quincy High 48, Sparks 7.
Exactly. Very good. Here's Foley on the right side in front of the Blue Devil bench. In the high post. Oh, I love it there. Went to the high post to Jada Brown. Did the old metal arc lemon, just hands it off to Dade going in for the layup. It was Layla, wasn't it?
It's amazing, how well that play works. You look at it, it's a very simple play, but it works very well.
Devils with a foul out high. Leah Chevalier. And it'll be her first foul. First foul of the second half or third quarter, folks. You'll hear us early in the season talking about that in both the boys and girls game. 5 fouls in a quarter, and you go to the double bonus. No bonus, double bonus. There will not be a 1-and-1 anymore. You won't hear anybody saying 1-and-1 or bonuses, I don't think. Another foul here by the Blue Devils. And at the end of the quarter, you wipe them away, and you start back up. So
it's going to take a while to get used to, that's for sure.
Another foul there. This one is on Bree Leonard. Her first. Devils second in the third quarter. And we'll also tell you, don't forget to double check with us on your Like the Signal. First half of the first game, we saw a lot of dropped frames on our screen. I'm seeing that a little bit right now in this quarter. So hang with us there. Data across the timeline. Leonard to the right side, down in the right corner. Madeline Hamby's in. She looked at the first cutter, didn't like Dade with the cut. Chevalier followed her, went right back to the play we ran a couple minutes ago. Brown tipped it to hand it off to Leonard, and Leonard missed the shot, got her own rebound, and the ball was tipped out of bounds to the Maroons. So that was exactly the same. We had 2 cutters on the strong side, went into the high post, the handoff on the weak side, and didn't get the layup, but a good-looking play.
Yeah, I mean, if you execute like that all the time, you will score lots of points.
50-7. Blue Devils are beating the Maroons of Belleville West. 3 minutes left in the third quarter. There's a steal. I don't know. Bree looks and says, did I really get credit for that? Because they passed it into her in the paint. Across the timeline, Dade has it. Lewis is on her. Check that. Sparks is on her.
Second cutter.
Went into Hamby. Now Chevalier went to baseline. And a nice pass from the left block to the right block. Jada Brown will get the score and give the assist to Chevalier.
Nice left hand also. Going up, shielding the defender, and going up the left hand, a little baby hook 5 foot into the lane.
Sparks in the left corner for 3 was no good. Rebound after tipping. Chevalier tipped it to Dade, and Layla will walk it up. And with a little behind the back there as she moves down to Leonard. Leonard looking inside. Bree doesn't see anything. Now goes high post to Jada Brown. Jada looked back door. Wasn't there for Dade. Comes back out. Now to Dade on the right wing. Layla looks. High post.
Oh.
Hamby waited a little too long, but Jada Brown tracks it down. Hamby now, left side, behind the arc. She looks for that shot right away, and she's just waiting for Lewis to back off her so she can take that shot. Bree back over to Layla. Dade over to Chevalier. Chevalier has the drive. She goes strong, off the iron. Weak side, Chevalier keeps it going. Hamby.
Nice
Bree,
extra pass.
Jada Brown, and Jada goes in. She'll be shooting 2.
Nice extra pass.
Foul was called against Lewis. Milena, her first, and the first foul against the Maroons in the third quarter. At the line, Jada Brown. And Jada will shoot 2. Only free throws in the ball game so far is Foley. She's 3 out of 3. Brown makes it 4 out of 4 for the post out of the Blue Devils.
A little bit better in game 1.
Yeah, we were a little. What did we end up there? Did we
7
say?
for 16
I
or
think
something
that's
like
exactly
that.
right. I think Coach even referenced that in the postgame show. And the pink shoes at the line. That's about the time in those silent moments she looks up and says, really? She makes the free throw. That is Jada Brown. 2 free throws.
I tell you what, that 7 for 16 in the first game, that's an anomaly because you look at the girls and their form, and their rotation on the ball. This is going to be a very good free throw shooting team.
A lot of them rolled off to the side.
Yeah.
It seemed like they just weren't quite lined on that. And for those who are doing that, I'm sure it's the same way, isn't it, as pitching. If you're missing a direction, you don't go the opposite direction. You go that direction when you do it, actually.
Yep.
So if you're missing right, you move right on the lane. You don't go left and figure that might compensate. Bree Leonard on the left wing. Looked at the high post. Byquist into the ball game now. Kate Medemeyer got it at the high post, and that was awesome. Kate got it, turned to look to make a pass, just like we've seen
Nobody
before.
was there.
Yes, she just turned and said, to the basket. And with the basket, Kate with her 4th point of the night. We are getting to the night now. Is it starting to get dark?
Definitely a defensive faux pas by the Belleville West Maroons.
As we hear in the third quarter, 1 minute, 14 seconds left, 56-7. Blue Devils ahead of Belleville West. Jeff Wellman, Dave Pettit, MeccaSportsCo.com. And as we've talked to you throughout, we keep reminding you, if you, again, are watching or listening, please check us out. First game, we had a lot of drop frames in the first half. Second half seemed to go well as far as our audience is letting us know. This game we've had a lot, according to the computer, but, as we've seen in the days, we've been at places in radio, and we haven't had hardly in a bar, and we've had our best, quality broadcast.
Oh, yeah.
And then some places, you got all the bars, and it ain't working. Of course, if you stay in the bar, you're never going to get to the game. That's the problem. Oh, the humor gets bad, folks. And you've got a host season of it. And it does get wild as there are good tunes here today. Of course, a lot of Led Zeppelin here over the headphones. And you, of course, on the way down, I think Led Zeppelin 2 was the road trip.
The CD of choice.
There you go. Out of the timeout. Maroons are going to have the basketball, but they need to come all the way down the other 85 feet to get it. I do like the floor, too. It's got that a little bit of Boston checkerboard with dark inside the three-point line, and everything else is the lightwood. And, of course, you can see that on the broadcast there on the camera. I keep forgetting it's not just radio anymore. Maroons have it on the right side. Back to the top of the key. That is Hall. Shifts over. Ball comes back out, and that is Williams tracing it down.
Another deflection.
Byquist out at the point along with Leonard. Inside, Hamby and Jasmine Lewis also checked in. And Kate Medemeyer, who tipped that one away. 49.9 left in the third. And not much fouls this quarter either. Devils have 2 and 1 on the other side. So these kind, the double bonus doesn't come in after 5. Left side, Ameria Hall lost the basketball. It was tracked down by the Nure from the left corner. Shot no good. Weak side, it did touch Kate Medemeyer, but behind her was Brown, and it wasn't our Brown, out of bounds. How do you say that? Vanae? Vinay? Never thought about checking. Oh, a nice steal there by the Maroons. Lewis, she goes all the way in for the score. So the first
She's
Maroon,
got all 9.
Yeah, she was actually Lewis. Lewis was the player who didn't score. She looks a lot like Sparks, But that's amazing because I thought it was the Sparks as well. Inside strong. Oh, and it goes in and out for Jasmine Lewis, excuse me. That would have been our 10th player to score. Nice tip out there, Kate Medemeyer. Right in front of the Belleville bench. Actually, that was Lannard. You know, between Lannard and Medemeyer getting on their hands on the ball last, it's hard to tell which one it is. It's interchangeable. 5.6 left. Third quarter action here in O'Fallon High School, O'Fallon, Illinois. Lob it in, but no, it was taken away by Kate Medemeyer, and that's how we'll end the third quarter. After 3 from O'Fallon, it is the Quincy High Blue Devils 56, Belleville West Maroons 9, right here on mechasportsco.com. Well, Coach, what do you think about the third quarter? We came out, still did the things that we needed to do. Didn't get sloppy at all. Actually ran some stuff, some high-low backdoor cuts. Got some different looks.
Well, yeah, the keys that I'm been writing down here, very unselfish. I mean, passing the ball ahead, they make 2-3 passes and, somebody's at the rim for a layup. Very unselfish looking ahead. I've liked the 1-3-1, especially with Dade running baseline, covering corner to corner. I like that. They're big across the one row going up. With getting the deflections outside with your guard up front. I kind of like the way that looks, to be honest with you. And then, lots of deflections. Turnovers forced off of deflections have led to easy baskets. And like I say, they've taken care of the ball in the 2-on-1, 3-on-2 breaks.
And Coach, as we talk about that 1-3-1, usually that back person, we'll talk men's basketball, you got to have somebody who's tall enough and athletic enough to run it because you've got to be able to get up and stop the shot.
Oh, yeah.
And got to be quick. Now, Dade, and of course in basketball here we don't have a 6'2", 6'4" girls like the O'Fallon team, but I think that's Layla's ability to move back and forth and realize when she doesn't have to go any farther than back to the middle.
Yep.
Devils have the basketball, Cameron Byquist.
And you got to cheat. Because, if it's on the left side, you got to be at the one block so you can get out to the corner. It goes on the other side, you got to be at the other block to get out to the corner.
Here's a steal by the Maroons. Again, this is Milana Lewis. She had that last bucket, and, she's got about the same size as Sparks. Tall, little, lanky and out there. And those are the two players, not that anything else in the Maroons are, not bad players, but they've done a nice job of getting out and going.
Yep.
56-9, 7:20 left in this ball game. Stick around post game. We'll talk to Coach Dance. Here's a baseline drive. No good. Weak side. Lewis is there. But so is our Lewis, Jasmine Lewis, and Medemeyer. Now, I believe if you've got a held ball and we have 2 players and they have 1, we should get her.
I don't know if it works like that.
Yeah, that's a new rule for next year for the National Federation of High School Sports. So, inside 7 minutes. Bray brings it across the timeline. Lannard goes to the right side. Man-to-man coming from Belleville West. Back to the top, Medemeyer. Medemeyer straight down on the block. Great pass, and Lewis with the score. That's Jasmine Lewis, the Quincy Highs Lewis. There you go.
Well, once again, a good back screen, good execution, of a set, for Coach Dance.
Speaking of Lewis there, Tracy Lewis lost his mom on November 3rd. And our hearts and thoughts and prayers go to Tracy and his family. Of course, his brother Alan Hickman. As well. I believe there were 5 kids, so 4 siblings for Tracy. One of our, officials you'll see a lot this year. Tracy's done a great job into the officiating. Devils with the lead, approaching 6 minutes, 58-9. Oh, and a great, not only that, the great screen on the weak side freed up Kate Medemeyer for the pass and give Hamby the assist.
Well, she set up the screen. She jab stepped and then went off the screen and it was wide open.
60-9 inside 6 minutes. Devils will be going to 3-1. I think that's an obvious state there.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm stretching on that one. Inside, weak side rebound. You just caught in a bad spot there. Nothing you can do. Cameron Byquist gets called for it. It'll be free throws here. First one's on the other side for Nurie. Byquist, her second foul. And the first of the fourth quarter. That just sounds so weird to say. But I have figured out the method. Checks 1 and 3, solid blocks 2 and 4. Folks, if you don't understand what I'm saying, it's okay. Coach
Don't
Pettit,
worry about it.
Yeah, Coach Pettit looks at me many times with that same look. So, all right, here we go. Belleville West of the shot. Lewis got in there early, and they let it go. Of course, when you're losing 60-10 and let it go, and then put the points on the wrong side of the board.
Well,
she gets 2. It should be 16-11.
Yeah,
there
there
it
we
is.
go.
There you go. And they get the other one over there eventually. Hamby
Oh.
on the left wing. Bounce pass inside. Medemeyer fakes.
Good
Medemeyer
move.
underneath. Has it blocked, though, because Lewis came across and helped. Otherwise, she faked out her player, did a great head fake, and strong to the hole.
That's once again where you had like poor spacing. You had 3 Blue Devils, probably within 5 foot, of the gal that was making the move. She made a great move, but the other gal came over and blocked the shot.
Devils with the basketball. Byquist out high. Medemeyer down low
Oh.
to Jasmine Lewis, and it tipped by Lewis from Belleville West. Jasmine reached out and just got the touch on it. It goes back over to Belleville West. And I didn't look at that until I started thinking I got too many Lewises and names crossing over. I got to specify who we're talking about. And the Maroons throw the ball away. No Devil goes after it, which is okay. It's in the backcourt as an over and back. I think in a different game, maybe somebody chases that down and tries to do a break.
I think I would have.
Oh, I forgot. We do have a running clock still. So I've been
Yes.
looking up, and
Yep.
it's under 4 minutes and
Yep.
running.
Yep.
60-11, Blue Devils with the lead. And the sure victory to go to 3-1. Bree picked it up a little soon. Didn't know what to do. Tried to go inside. We had 2 Devils in the same spot, Lewis and Medemeyer. And they both tipped it and went out of bounds. We'll go over Belleville West. Yeah, we're not even to Thanksgiving. Normally we don't get the basketball field till Thanksgiving. This has been a great week.
Oh, yeah.
I've caught both the games at Jacksonville and Pleasant Plains, even though we did not broadcast it. Nice shot from the right side. Maroons, it was the southpaw, Olivia Massey with that bucket. That was a 3-pointer, too. Good shot. Top of the key, Hamby. Hamby, right side. Bree Leonard looks inside, trying to find Jasmine Lewis. It goes high to Kate Medemeyer, and Kate says, I've got the assist. Pass down to Jasmine Lewis. She's got 2 buckets now, 4 points.
Once again, good ball movement and good spacing, by the Lady Devils. Went up high, then got down low again.
Across the timeline, that's Kennedy Williams for the Maroons. Starts to work right side, sends it back to the left. That's Lewis going into the left wing. Now we're coming out to Garter since Massey hit that last 3-pointer. Ball comes back to the right side. Williams with the dribble into the high post. Lewis for the Maroons. Good ball movement. Goes baseline. Sin drives. No good. Lewis is there. And this one I can say Lewis because it's both of them. Held ball by the Lewis family. No relation. Although I don't know. They may say, yes, we're distant cousins. And on the alternate possession arrow, Belleville West will have the basketball at the 2-minute warning. Please don't start that in basketball, too.
What?
It's a 2-minute warning. Timeout. We're going to take a timeout as a 2-minute warning. Right side, Belleville West. Trying to go inside. Can't get it in. Good job by Kate Medemeyer again. Tipping the ball away.
Fighting underneath the post up, yeah, down there. Fighting it on the baseline side.
Devils go 2-3 out of bounds. Medemeyer comes out to guard, and then look at that. Jasmine Lewis steps in the passing lane with a steal. Jasmine realized nobody there, and the player stepping out. I'm going there too. Left side, Byquist. Byquist passes up. Leonard on a cut. Also, Hamby made the cut. She takes it to the right side where Medemeyer's at. Medemeyer has Massey on her. Back out to Byquist. Byquist wants to bring it back to the left side. Madeline Hamby. Little head fake there. Takes it down baseline. She'll skip it back out to Jasmine Lewis. Jasmine for 3. Good. No, actually, her foot was on the line barely. The big toe got over there. So she's got 6 now. Devils 64-14. Inside 1 minute. Good job by Bree with another tip and a steal by Hamby. Bree brings it across timeline. Sets it left side, Kate Medemeyer. Down to Byquist. Byquist brings it to the 45. Into Hamby at the top. Hamby started to make a move to the basket. Realized there were 2 Maroons and wanted to kick it out to Leonard and took that extra step. .22 seconds left and counting. Long shot. No good by the Maroons. Weak side. Tipped. Last touch by Kate Medemeyer. And I don't think you're even going to get an out-of-bounds play as it's 10 seconds. This is where, like with 10 seconds, you hate to have it run when you're trying to get a ball in. Like right now. You almost ought to stop the last 10 so somebody can get it in, but that's the buzzer. And that's the way she is. The final here from Game 2 in the O'Fallon tournament. The Blue Devils 64, Belleville West 14. Nice game for the Blue Devils.
Well, once again, they cleaned up some of the stuff. You know, obviously, Belleville West is not the same caliber team as O'Fallon, but they cleaned up a lot of the stuff that didn't work so well against O'Fallon, like, you know, taking care of the basketball, you know, your defensive rebounding. I thought they did a great job, you know, on the offensive glass tonight. You know, it was a very, very consistent effort. They basically, you know, ran their stuff the second half and looked very, very good. You know, back cuts, screens, you know, looking for the extra player, extra pass. They were very, very unselfish tonight, which I loved.
Awesome. As we get into our Mecca Sports post-game show, we'll do a wrap of the stats and how we got to the victory number 3 on the season, now 3-1. And we'll expect Coach to come up here as we wait. And I better get the third headset out here so that when I want to ask a question after I've asked my one allotted question, I don't shout it out as a fan. But, Coach, what do you think about this? Well, how about getting your headphone on there, Wellman? So we'll get that all lined up here as we get ready for Coach to come up. I'll break down the scoring for us here in a second and pull out our third headphone. In fact, I'm going to run down the scoring, and when Coach Pettit does a little more follow-up on that, I will get the headset ready for Coach there. So here's what it looks like for the Devils. Now, 3-1 on the season. All 10 players, like Jacksonville, did score. So we had all 10 players score for the Blue Devils. They were led with 13 points by Taylor Foey. Also, 13 points by Layla Dade. That was silent, too, because it really didn't really see her making that many shots from outside, so a couple of them fast breaks. 10 points out of Jada Brown, 8 points from Miley Longcore, 6 points from Jasmine Lewis off the bench, 6 points also from Kate Medemeyer, 2 points from the last 4 players, and that would be Madeline Hamby had 2, Cameron Byquest off the bench also with 2, Leah Chevalier had 2, and Bree Leonard 2 as well. On the other side for Belleville, who loses this one, Belleville West, they were led in scoring by Jala Sparks, and she had 7. 3 points on the three-pointer in the fourth quarter, Olivia Massey. 2 points out of Milena Lewis, and 2 from Morianne Nurier. And I didn't have that enough in the time to really get that stuck in my brain yet. So great job by the Devils, winning 64-14.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a great overall effort. Yeah, I tell you what, it started on the defensive end, you know, with the deflections, you know, turning the ball over, getting out on the fast break, finishing the fast breaks. You know, I mean, against O'Fallon, they had trouble finishing the fast breaks. We had, you know, several times where, you know, good-looking layups basically at the basket, and they just would not fall. You know, this second game, they ran the fast breaks, you know, about as well as you could.
As I'm just getting here, setting up there, sorry, Coach, there. I got some new stuff I have to put together when I do the third headset. So there we go there. Let's make sure that goes. I'll be wearing the third headset, so if you can't hear me, that'll work just fine. I'll just shout it out again. So anyway, the Devils now are 3-1. They will have next Tuesday the opening of the Western Big Six, and they will be at Rock Island, 7 o'clock start there. And if we're there, it'll be 15 minutes or so beforehand. And if we're out the pit, it'll be the same situation as well. So we'll make a call on that and let you know where we'll be. But nice start to the season, and nice day of coming back after the O'Fallon loss with a victory here against Belleville West.
Well, and you know, once again, I think the bench play, you know, when, you know, the second team came in, you know, after the first team went out, they still ran the same sets. They still had the same success. You know, and that goes back to coaching. Coach Dance does a, you know, great job, you know, with this girls program here at Quincy High School, and there was no let up, you know, in, you know, first team versus second team. So, you know, they played well overall. I mean, there were deflections all over the place. It didn't matter who was in there. They did you know, they had a lot more energy, I think, than against O'Fallon. So, which speaks of, you know, the coaching and, you know, They got off their feet, and they came back after a disappointing loss against O'Fallon and took care of business with Belleville West.
And if you're watching our screen right now, as the Blue Devils are off the court, we got the next game, which I believe is O'Fallon again, hosting Dunlop. So Coach Dance comes up here, and I'm going to ask him a first one, and then I'm going to switch and take the other headset to see how they work. I'm going to give you my headset.
Too many wires.
And like we said, if we couldn't work mine was going to be hot, so I want to make sure I'm not shouting in you guys' ears. You guys are okay?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. Well, the thing is, I've got a bandsaw on mine, so I got real close. Great comeback from earlier in the day, and I want to tell you, what we thought was great was the Devils did such a good job on defense, deflections and steals, and then the ball didn't touch the floor, and it went 1, 2, 3 down the court.
Yeah, that's one of the advantages we have this year that we haven't in years past is we can run the floor really well. We've got girls that get out and run. We get the rebound, and 2 or 3 are flying the court, so we're getting easy looks that way.
And, of course, again today, like Jacksonville, all 10 players are in the scoring column. Jasmine Lewis came in and got 6 as well.
Yeah, she did. She knocked down a shot there at the end. The main thing with us is we've got to just continue to work, and I told the girls in the second half we've got to be able to execute our offense, whether we're running, our spread or Oregon 5 game. We've got to be able to be comfortable with each of them when we switch. And we're getting there, but it's still going to take a little time.
Yeah, I thought the sets that you ran the second half with the back screens, with the catch, handoff, you had 3 or 4 sets that were, if you execute it, when you executed it, easy looks.
Yeah, and that's what we just got to get a little bit more comfortable on that particular one. We've got 2 cutters coming through, and then we've got to realize that if that's not there, then we've got post players and other people to look for in that spot, and we can't panic. We're getting there. I mean, we've got girls that have played a lot, but we still got some that are still getting their feet wet.
Oh, yeah, and I tell you what, the 1-3-1 I thought looked very, very nice out there.
We're still with Jada and Taylor in there. We're still, messing around with that a little bit, seeing who's where. When we go 4 guards in a post, then it's, we've really fly to it. But I thought we did a good job, and Jada, I thought she played really well both games today, and she's improving on both ends of the court, and she runs the floor really well.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I was going with it. It might be the pink shoes. I don't know, maybe you know where she's at on the court. But she did, and I love it today, even earlier, but especially this game. When your post can block a shot or be there near the rebound and yet be down there in transition and almost beat everybody and be the one to get the ball. I always say in any games, feed me, Seymour, feed me, and you do that.
And we challenge them. If you're not getting the rebound, you got to be the first one down the court. So, because if you're not working on that end, you better be down at the other end ready to score at least. So, but they've, they're doing that, and Taylor does a really good job running the floor as well. I mean, all our posts are getting better at that, and we'll just keep plugging away. We get 2 more tough ones this week. So.
Oh, and we started out Tuesday with Rock Island on the road on Tuesday at, you can't really call it the Rock Garden, but that was the Rock Garden before the Rock Garden was there.
That's right, yes. And it's always a tough place to play. We played well there last year at the end of the year, and I'm expecting us to play well and, handle their pressure. They'll full court press us, but, I think we can, as long as we don't panic and just try to make one pass and beat it, that's our downfall is we want to beat everything with one pass instead of, 4, 5, 6 passes, and so that's one thing we'll definitely work on Monday.
Cuts and screens.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, love the game, love the victory, love the day, and get a good weekend, and can't wait for Tuesday.
That's right. Well, thank you guys very much. Appreciate it.
All right,
no
that's
problem.
Coach Brad Dance there, head coach for the Blue Devils, and, of course, all his comments as well as Coach Pettit and everybody is brought to you by Cunis Auto Group, faith, family, and giving back. We appreciate all that, and I'm going to switch over to my other headset. A little different hearing in this one, but it still works pretty good, so I kind of like that. He goes, I hope so. It cost. All right. I'm back with you, Coach Pettit there. All right, now our question obviously is 10 players score. They all look good. It's a good game. Who do you pick for player of the game?
I mean, this is a tough one because, I mean, everybody, did their job. Whether it be defensively, getting the deflections, offensively, making the cuts, setting the screens. God, I'm going to leave this one up to you, man. This is a hard one because, I mean, it was a great team effort, by, the Lady Blue Devils tonight.
You made it easy, Coach, for me because when you started talking about all the contributions by all the different players out on the court and making it a team. And you said it right there. It's a team victory. I'm giving it to the team after coming back after the first game. Regrouping.
Yeah, off a short rest, because let's face it, Belleville West had another, basically hour and a half of rest, so I was thinking, we might have had the heavier legs, but we came out with the energy, and the effort, especially on the defensive end, and that turned into easy offense and a W.
That sounds like a winner. Coach is showing you our view there as he bumped.
It's
the new game, so it doesn't really matter. So we're giving it to the Blue Devils team, playing a great game, all 10 players, and that's what you really like. In fact, most games you would like to come up here and say it's the team all the time.
Yeah,
but it's a bailout on us, but this is not a bailout. This is a true day where the Blue Devils succeeded and did a nice job. 1-1 on the day. It'll be next Tuesday as they go up to Rock Island. It's conference time, but Coach Pettit and I enjoyed the first day of coming out here on the road, testing out equipment out here with MeccaSportsCo.com. Hope you enjoyed it. And again, feel free to share your comments and your thoughts on it all. This is the only way we get better because we can't be watching at home. Well, we can watch later today.
Yeah.
And really at the same time, and we've got to also watch our droppage and some of those things. So I become the producer. I just, again, radio, I love doing the play-by-play. Now I'm learning to produce and all that. Will I lead play-by-play? I doubt it. So, but Coach, thank you very much. Last thoughts on Quincy High's day?
Well, like I say, they came out about like I thought they would. You know what I mean? Against a tough O'Fallon team that won the state championship last year with 3 starters back. D1 girl in the middle that's 6'3". I figured that was going to be a tough one to get. I mean, we would have had to come out with our A game, and they'd had to come with their B-, and then it would have been a close game. Okay? Second game, we figured, okay, come back, bounce back. They did more than what I expected the second game. The way they executed, the way they defended, their effort on the defensive end. That's where it all starts with this team, is shutting the other team down.
And, of course, Coach Dance's comments as well as Coach Pettit's comments are brought to you by the Cunis Auto Group, Faith, Family, and Giving Back. We'll be hearing about all the things that are happening out there. Well, it's been a fun day. It's time for us to get back on the road. And the final here from O'Fallon for Game 2, the Quincy High Blue Devils 64, the Belleville West Maroons 14. Devils now on the season 3-1. Forgot what that Belleville West falls to, 0-2 or 3 at least.
I think 3.
So, but they have a good coach and a new system. Look forward to seeing them.
Well, I tell you what, it'll take a couple years to turn around, but it starts with teaching the fundamentals at the lower levels, and bringing them up and getting them excited, and watching her energy on the bench. I think she'll turn it around, and it might take a couple of years though.
Again, great victory out here for the Devils, 64-14. Glad you can be with us and join us again. I'm Jeff Wellman for Dave Pettit. This has been MeccaSportsCo.com and Quincy High Blue Devil basketball.
Ladies and